Welcome to the Pays to Be Clean podcast. We are here, Amanda May and
Chaun Williams.
with my bestie,
Bella Verita.
All right, so this is a super fun impromptu podcast, but we thought today would be a good day to start talking about the value of integrity in friendships. And who better to do that with than my lifelong bestie of, what did we say the other day, 16 years?
Something like that.
I don't know.
Some 14, 15, 16, something. It was one of those.
Somewhere in the teens, you
Yes.
know, anywhere between 12, well, that's not a teen.
Yeah.
Okay. 13 and 19. All right. So, so we thought it'd be super fun to get her on the podcast, introduce her to you. She is an incredible woman, incredible at so many things, has taught me so many things in life, and has a lot of really valuable things to share about how wonderful I am. And so,
I even have Amanda Wisdom list on my phone for how wise you are.
She does. And over the last few days, Chaun has gotten to experience the fun of our energy together and why it makes sense that we're best friends.
It has been an experience.
Do you want to start out by giving a few minutes about that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, you guys are twins. That's because of that, y'all laugh exactly the same. And so initial thought, top of mind, it's been, you guys are twins, and I can see why you guys are good friends. But you guys have been discussing a few important things that have made me realize the why the bond is what it is, and why you guys talk about each other the way you do and connect the way you do. And so, yeah, it's been good to experience.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Well, diving right in, one of the things that we're going to talk about today in about a 15-minute segment is integrity in friendship and the value of speaking your truth and allowing your friend to have the experience that they're meant to have. And so along the way, one of the things that's been really, really transformative about our friendship and what makes a friendship last forever, you hear sometimes those quotes, friendships are sometimes for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And while each one of those holds a special place for a special reason, certainly the friendships that last a lifetime, or the friendships that last a lifetime, are the ones that I definitely want to learn from. And one of the things that I learned in this friendship is the value of honesty. I like to say that I've always been this wonderful, but it's just not the case.
Well, you've always been wonderful. We just always have room to grow.
That's true, and still growing. So when Bella and I first met, one of the things that we did together, which was a lot of fun, was I was in the beauty industry. She was in the fashion and beauty industry. We came together and decided to start doing closet makeovers for women, and we would hold these events at their houses. And one particular event sticks out for me. After we finished, she gave me a phone call and said, hey, you know what? If this is the woman that is going to be at these events and this is how you're going to show up, I don't want to do business with you. And I was devastated, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. I had so much growing to do. I had never done personal development, never had a coach, didn't really understand even much about myself. And so how could I bring my best self to helping other women if I wasn't being my best? And she really held a very high bar for me to continue to grow and be my best. And so that really is what started my personal development journey. So I give a lot of credit to you for who I am today, because that was the starting point to it all. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and it has been an honor and a privilege to witness your journey and to witness our journey together, because I think, you know, what has always made our friendship so special is the non-judgment. Is we've always been able to talk to each other about anything in any space, give feedback, and it's like almost like we forget it the next minute. It's like, because as women, you know, there's all kinds of studies, but, you know, women need to purge. Like, we have to get out our energy, we have to get out, like, whatever, like, I hate the world, and then it's like, okay, let's go have pizza. And you know, most
So
people,
true.
don't understand. But like once it's out, once it's done, it's like it moves on. And so we've always been able to be super honest, super transparent, and no grudges are held. Like I think, you know, after that conversation, it was like, okay, I'll take a look at that. Okay, let's, you know, go have pizza.
Yeah.
It doesn't get held on to. And I think that that's so important in building friendships, is to be able to be honest, to be able to share the things, but not hold on to that energy, to be able to let it go and, you know, really be able to transform and grow. And I think also, you know, we are blind to our own, I don't like to say weaknesses, but suboptimal behaviors. We're typically blind to them. And, you know, someone that can lovingly, you know, point those out and say like, hey, you might want to consider looking at this. It's like, oh, okay, because we can't see what we don't see.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the cool part. Chaun knows I'm a little competitive. And sometimes I'm like, sometimes halfway through the day, I'm like, I win. He's like, I didn't know we were competing. I'm like, but can you share a little bit, because we got into this conversation yesterday about friends that want to see each other win.
Yeah.
And I thought this was such a valuable conversation. This is what we talk about when we're at lunch.
Yes, 100%.
Well, you know, we talk about all kinds of other things too, but it's like the topics that we get into and go deep on are topics like this. And so I think it's really valuable in these few minutes to share what that looks like. And I think it also brings a lot of clarity as to why our friendship has lasted so long.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you know, I want to speak into, you know, first, it's also statistically, typically men stay friends with their friends longer. Like I'm presuming maybe you still have friends from either high school or college, yeah?
Yeah, my buddy Jeremy, we've been friends since we were like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so that's how it's been.
Like, you know, men, boys, they make bonds, they stay friends, and they stay friends for a lot longer time. You'll find more men with high school friends like that are still in their lives today than you find women, because, you know, men can get into competition and typically you want each other to win. Like but it's like, it's fun and it brings up the vibration, and you like get on the basketball field or whatever, but at the end of, you know, whoever kicks whose ass, it's like, let's go have pizza. Whereas women, you know, you could say like, oh, I don't really like those shoes, and then she won't speak to you for 5 years. Like it's crazy. And so it's so important. What we were talking about yesterday is, you know, women, and I think, you know, men and women alike, is when we have people that can raise our mastery. So like even taking sports, right? If let's say you play tennis, you're not going to get better at tennis if you always play someone that is not as great of a player as you. You're not going to get better. You want to play someone at tennis that is better than you, so you can continue to be better. And so I think the same thing with friendship is, you know, surrounding yourself with people that inspire you to be better. And, you know, you are someone that has always inspired me to be better. You, and I've shared this with you, is like when you decide something, like I'm going to do a podcast, it's like you're going to do it. You're going to learn all the things, you're going to do the things, and you're going to make it successful. When you know, wanted to change your physical body, right? It was like, okay, this is what I'm committing to. Some god awful like 2 hours of workout a day or something fucking effing crazy like that.
It's a tourist for you.
Yeah. But it's like the commitment level. I've always admired, you know, your commitment level. And so with what we were talking about yesterday, is it's so important that that we have friends that we can compete with, but that you want each other to win, because that's what we were talking about. Is like, you know, we were competing, like I'm going to get more points, but really at the end of the day, I wanted to get more points because I wanted you to have more points.
Yeah.
And I wanted you, at the end of the day, I wanted to play harder so that you would play harder.
Yeah.
And the same, and the vice versa.
Yeah. That's so good. So we win together.
Yes, winning together. It's way more fun that way.
So, babe, when I say I win, it's really just so you play harder.
All right. Well, that's great. We're getting better together.
Yes.
It's good.
Just to witness a friendship like this. Oops, sorry. Those are people calling. I mean, that. But what has it been like for you as a man to witness the dynamic of our friendship?
Well, I mean, listening to you talk about the conversation you guys had yesterday about raising each other up and the ways that you're doing and going about that, the high level conversations that you guys are having, that's not normal.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's good for people to have those types of individuals in their life, and for you guys to have that, being friends for so long, that's absolutely amazing, and it's inspiring. I think it will inspire many other people to be the same way, you know, to level up and to become better so that they can make the people around them better, because that's what we're here for. And so, yeah, it's been great to witness. I rock with it. I'm glad you guys found each other, and yeah, I'm sure this is going to last a lifetime.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to say this on the, you know, the clean part is something that I just realized as you were talking is, you know, our friendship has always been based on growth and contribution.
Always.
Like, I was trying to remember, I was like, have we ever even been to a bar? Like, I think, I can't even remember times that, like, I don't think we've ever been to like a bar or out or partying. I don't think we've ever done any of that. Like, we've hung out in bed, watched movies and stuff. Like,
Try this new chapstick I
So
bought.
we all done like conferences together, or like any type of like self-mastery, personal
Yep.
development type stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's great
Yeah.
to do, you know, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, reading, we share content, like, and to me, like, you are the one friend I have that when we get together, like, all we do is laugh. It is so healthy for the soul to just be able to just laugh, like, and we laugh at ourselves all the time, and it's great. Like, from the moment like we see each other, we just start laughing, and it is so soothing and healing for the soul.
It's not just a regular laugh though. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like when we walked in the house and we're like, hey, and he's like, oh, wow.
You're here.
Small.
Yeah, so that it's really the word I'm feeling is like juicy. It's like when you bite into a piece of fruit and it tastes so good and it's like fills your flavors that fill your mouth. I mean, that's what it's like to have a friend that is, you know, has integrity and is clean and thinking about and worried about their own growth and your growth. It's like, that is like juicy. It makes life feel and taste so good.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we've been through a lot of things at the same time. Not everything at the same time, but a lot of things at the same time. And being able to be there even in the midst of times that are very difficult, where we can reflect back to one another, like, here's something maybe that you're not seeing about that situation. And you're really great at this, because I will call and be just like, you know, super girly and crying and upset about something, and she's like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Now can I reflect something back? And, you know, I know what's coming next, which is like, okay, so what can you do better? And I'm like, so I know when she says, can I reflect something back, it means like, we're going to take a look at you right now and see what you can do to show up as a better woman in relationships, as a mom, as a business owner. And so, you know, it's like we have a rule like, hey, we're going to go low vibe for a few minutes just so we can get it all out. And then it's like that gets cut off and back up. And I think that's super valuable, because there are a lot of friends that can stay in the trenches, and it's like, you don't want to stay there.
You don't want to stay in like that gossipy space, because it's not high vibe. Again, like, it's like getting it out. And it's like, yesterday it was like, you know, I think we were having like this conversation, and I was like, oh, can we just take a pause and like talk about that thing over there for like 30 seconds, because I didn't like what that person did. And then it was like, okay, now we're back to that. And it was, you know, absolutely extraordinary.
And shifting really fast, which is great, because you do get it out. So there's a realness, but then there's a focus on where are we going, and what vibration do we want to operate in. And that allows us to be clean. And even at times, like if I've hurt your feelings or if I've done something, or I've called and said, hey, so-and-so did this thing and it doesn't feel good. She's like, yeah, you did that to me too. And
I think that did happen once.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I did that to you, And so being able to own and take responsibility for who you are in the friendship makes a big difference on the success of the friendship too.
Absolutely. And I want to say too, is, friendship also, it doesn't look like, talking and texting every day, because, there's times where we've gone months without talking. Like I think the longest time was like 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months we went, and it was like, but as soon as we reconnected, it was, picking up right where we left off. So, also understanding that life happens and stuff happens, and maintaining a friendship doesn't always have to look like, texting every day, but we kind of do text almost every day, but
I see what you're saying. It's like a soul connection versus this superficial, general acquaintance type relationship. It's like your souls are connected, so when you link back up, it's just like it was, the last time you talked, and that's something special to have. And it's what I have with my buddy Jeremy. Like, we've been friends for so long, like, I can look at something and he knows what I'm thinking, or I can say something and it takes us back to when we were like 12 years old and we just crack up, and that type of thing is amazing to have. And so, it's a type of soul connection is what I like to think of that as, and it's cool that y'all have it.
Oh, well, thank you. And I really appreciate your reflections. We've just gotten to know each other, and I busted in here, and you've been so gracious and so kind and so respectful of wanting to just have time with my friend, and just your reflections of our friendship really, I'm gonna get emotional, really mean a lot, because that tells me how you see my friend, and how you see her really means a lot to me.
That's amazing. Well, especially to me, I know how important a friend is, because I know how important it is for me and how it's been for me. There's nothing like it. Money can't buy friendship. And there's a lot of people that try to influence and have friends through money, and or through their possessions or whatever that looks like, and it's always a dead end. It never works out long term, and it's so unfulfilling. And so to have that it's priceless. And so I see that. I know what that is, and so that's why I'm happy that you guys have that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that space. I also felt a little bit relieved, like he's not going to think I'm the only crazy one on the planet. When he's like, why do you do it like that? I'm like, wait until you meet Bella. We both do it this way. It's really not that crazy. Well, we might be the only crazy ones, but we're both doing it, so it makes
which is really fun. Which one thing we have not mentioned is both of our significant others are both named Chaun also. And I was like, when my Chaun was going to meet you, I was like, okay, like get ready. Like this is an experience. Like this is what it look like. There's like a whole pre-fame that comes to like Bella and Amanda together.
Yeah, I got the same forewarning.
Definitely. And when I got to meet your Chaun, he was pretty smart about it, because he took us to Disney.
Yeah.
Where we could be as crazy as we wanted, and like everybody's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the happiest place on earth.
Yes.
So,
and you were really ecstatic because you got to go see the castle. You got to have dinner in the
Beauty and
castle.
the Beast.
Yes. Which is your favorite, which I didn't know.
I followed the Beast around like paparazzi, like hiding behind pillars to get pictures of the Beast. I was so excited.
Yeah, that was funny.
And
I learned something new, because that was something I didn't actually know about you, is how much you love Beauty and the Beast. So that was fun to get to know that about you.
What's your favorite fairy tale?
I don't know that I have a favorite fairy tale. Maybe the fairy tale I'm creating.
Yeah, that's a good one. Your own life.
Yeah,
I like it.
my own life. I don't know that Yeah, I can't think of, like, I was never really like a TV watcher. I was a make-believe person. Like, I at one point had turned my entire garage. I took I had Hot Wheels and I had Barbie stuff, and I turned it all into like a Barbie Hot Wheel castle. Like, I played a lot and entertained myself in my imagination. I didn't really watch a whole lot of stuff. My imagination was crazy.
I mean, that's good, like challenging your own imagination. You come up with some cool things, and you're not stuck in the same thing that everyone else is. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I do love Disney and all that stuff too, but it's good to do the other thing too.
Absolutely.
It's good. All right, so if there's one thing, we'll end this on something fun relationally. So if there's one thing that you feel like Chaun needs to know about me, what would it be?
In any genre, any way?
What you pick. I'm scared a little bit, but
you don't have to be scared. This isn't going to be something that he doesn't know, though.
Oh.
One thing. And I'm just going to say what comes up, but I think you already know this, is her heart. She's got an extraordinary heart. And she loves very deeply, and this love, and she's so supportive and so smart. But I think I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know already, because you probably wouldn't be here if all those things. But that's what comes up, is just, your heart. And I just remember, different times in, other women doing things to you in business, and just, you always had a forgiving heart. You always saw the best in them. Even when I remember one incident that happened with someone close to you, and I was so angry and I was so mad at them, and I so was like, what the F are they doing? Like, how could they do that to you? And just your forgiving heart is absolutely extraordinary.
Thank you.
Yeah. What did you think I was
like
going to say?
attracts like? I was like, ooh, that I shouldn't have some direction around. No,
Yeah.
I always,
because it's not like we've like partied and done crazy things together, so there's nothing really like to tell. Like, yeah, I mean, we've never really been drinkers. Like,
when you said that, I was like, oh yeah,
yeah.
I never actually thought about that, but I mean, it's very similar with Chaun and I. I mean, at the beginning, certainly we went, and living in Vegas, we went to events and parties and stuff, but yeah, I think
we're like in our own little corner talking,
Yeah.
just not really heavily involved in the main parts of what a party is.
That's not clean or high vibe. So
not clean or high vibe. I'm honored to have both of you in my life and sharing this time with you. Thank you for sharing just a little bit. And we'll do more of this about what it means to be clean.
Make sure you make comments and all the like things that you do on social media. Like, make all the comments and the likes, and be like, Amanda, have her back. We really like her. So you definitely want to do that. Like, comment below how awesome Bella is, how amazing Bella is, how Amanda should have Bella back. Definitely do that.
I'm not sure if you can tell that they like compliments.
Words of affirmation is definitely our love language.
Listen, the best part is we don't need it from anyone else. We just call each other. It's like, hey, I need you to tell me how wonderful I am. Sure. Okay, now your turn.
Yes. True.
You're wonderful, awesome. I love you. I'm so glad we had this time together.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time out.
Okay.
All right.